Okay, so in the news lately, there's been all this stuff about the benefits program, food benefits stuff. If you're between the ages of 18 and I think it was like 48 or some shit like that, and you're not disabled, have no dependents, that you now have to work something like 20 hours or something like that. You have to like work and earn the benefits for food stamps, and people are freaking out, saying, "How dare they? How dare they? Uh, you're really destroying food. You're destroying families, and you're killing people." And it's bullshit. AOC said that if it happened, it would have killed her family, and it's like, no, it wasn't. It wouldn't have done that because your family, you were on food stamps or whatever, supposedly, and it was like somebody in your family was disabled. They wouldn't have had to work. That's not how this is. You're literally making shit up as you go along, just to try and like get people of the woke culture. Now here's the thing: when I was homeless, when I was actually homeless, on the other side of these houses, there's an alleyway. When I was homeless, that's the alleyway that I lived in. I lived in that alley. I also lived in a drainage ditch over by the old Kmart building. I lived in that ditch. Lived there for about a year and a half. I was on the street, had nothing. I had nothing. I had a duffel bag, my military duffel bag, with a little bit of clothing in it, and like I had to fight for everything that I got. Uh, I went down to the Department of Economic Security and whatnot, got my food stamp card, and because I was just one person and I was a male, I could not get any kind of cash assistance. That's strictly for like single women or a woman with a child. Apparently, if you add in a male to the equation, you get minimized cash assistance because the male can work. That's just how it is. But I was on food stamps. My maximum was $124 a month on food stamps. Now, back then, I'd go and I'd do shopping, get a few things here and there, and then I'd go pop a squat out in the desert, and I'd make some food, and lay down and go to bed. I'd go there, I'd go to shopping, and these people would come through, and it's like, oh, some girl, teenage girl, 19 to 20 age group, and they'd have like a fancy iPhone, they'd have all this jewelry, pierced ears, nails just freshly done, and they'd be going through that store grabbing up like boxes of cookies, cases of energy drinks, candy bars, ice cream, soda. They just get everything, and then they'd go over and they'd get this fresh meat, like freaking prime grade A steaks. I couldn't get that stuff because I couldn't cook it. I didn't know. I also didn't have money for it. I had to literally like save money from food stamps. I'd like starve myself for an entire month and save up as much food stamps as I could get, so that the next month I'd have enough money to actually eat good. And that's how I lived. Now these people, they're getting, $300, $400, $500 in food stamps. And it really pissed me off because I was really struggling. I was struggling to survive week after week, month after month. And these people are going out and buying new cell phones. They're getting their nails done. I mean, seeing somebody pay for, $300 in groceries, and it's all junk food, and then go to the little nail salon and pay $65 to get all their nails done, get the mani-pedi done, and it's like, you're giving them all this fucking money and they can burn it on shit like that. I can't even fucking afford new pants. It pissed me off. Now, the other day I went to Walmart, and this was when I got almost got banned. But while I was there was a lady. She was riding in one of them carts, the motorized carts, and like she'd get up and she'd like walk up and down the aisles, and she'd like hop up to grab like a box off a shelf. Like she'd actually like do a little hop to get it. Then she'd wander back to her cart, and she'd throw the stuff in her little mobility cart. Then these teenagers come around the corner. They're wearing the Mojave High School shirts. The lady goes, "Just get the good stuff. It has to be the good stuff, because we got $1,200 to work with this month. $1,200 in food stamps to work with." Like, she was talking about, being on food stamps and how much of a struggle it is to feed a family of 4 on $1,200 in food stamps. Yeah, you're struggling with $1,200 in food stamps for a family of 4 for 30 days. And you're telling them to get the name brand stuff, the expensive stuff, the good stuff. I struggled to survive on $124 because all I could get was the garbage food. And yeah, some people are going to be kicked off of assistance because, hey, you can literally work. You can work. You are able-bodied. You just don't want to, because it's easier to live off of the government and have the stuff given to you. Well, that's your prerogative to be lazy. I work my ass off now. See, the biggest issue I have with it is there's too many people that don't need it that are on it. And putting in this restriction where if you're able-bodied, you're going to donate some time and volunteer and work for it, because then you at least earn some of that money. You earn some of it. And that really gets to me. Yes, they say like 700,000 people are going to be kicked off of assistance because of this program. Well, those 700,000 people don't need it. What they need is a kick in the ass and a reason to go out and apply for a job. And we're finally going to get those people off. And once they're off, that increases how much money the government can like dole out to the other people. So that raises the limits for the lower end people, but leaves the higher end people where they're at. The people that are getting $1,000 in fucking food stamps, they'll stay where they're at. But the people that, are struggling with what I got will get up to like 250. See, this is another thing that gets me. I got one 24-month single male, homeless, no home. My sister has a home. She just can't work. She's going for Social Security, but she gets hundreds in food stamps, like way more than me. But she has a home. It's like that irks me really bad. But I don't put too much on it because, she's surviving. This is what it should be. That's what I should have been getting while I was homeless. But they always keep pulling this thing. Well, you can trade your food stamps for drugs, and we don't want you to do that, so that's why we keep it low. I don't do drugs. Piss test me. Do the testing. That's another thing that I want to happen. I want them to implement this whole, drug testing. Random drug test people on benefits. Make sure, because if I got to work, if I got a drug test, do a drug test to work, then you should have to do a drug test to make money off of my taxes. That's just how it is. But hey, that's all I gotta say right now.